Hello, Matujima, and watching Morning Pulse on Hornbill TV. General Secretary of the Lucknow Petrol Dealers Association, Alok Trivedi, says the recent petrol and diesel price hike was expected amid the global situation. He praised the centre for keeping the increase limited to around ₹3. However, he also raised concerns over stagnant dealer commissions, saying petrol pump operators have been facing losses for years. Trivedi added that reduced vehicle usage to curb fuel consumption is also impacting traders and the public, while stressing that fuel prices are revised according to prevailing circumstances.
डीजल और पेट्रोल के दाम तो बढ़ने थे ही, ये सभी लोग जान रहे थे, क्योंकि विश्व की जो स्थिति है सब लोग इससे अच्छी तरह से वाकिफ हैं। फिर भी मैं तारीफ करूंगा अपने प्रधानमंत्री जी की और अपने देश की सरकार को कि उन्होंने वर्तमान स्थिति को देखते हुए भी बहुत ही कम रेट बढ़ाए हैं। मैं एक बात जरूर कहना चाहता हूं, हम चूंकि पेट्रोल पंप वाले सब ऑयल कंपनीज के डीलर होते हैं, सरकार रेट बढ़ाने के साथ हम सबके कमीशन के विषय में भी जरूर सोचना उनका दायित्व बनता है। हम लोग कमीशन पिछले कई सालों से नहीं बढ़ा है, हम लोग बहुत ही घाटे की स्थिति में चल रहे हैं, उस पर भी जरूर ध्यान देना चाहिए। जहां तक रेट बढ़ने की बात है, ₹3 के आसपास, कहीं ₹2.81, कहीं ₹2.91, 10-15 पैसे का अंतर हर जिले के हिसाब से रहता है, वो है। फिर भी ज़्यादा रेट नहीं बढ़े। जो उम्मीद थी लोगों को, जनता के बीच में जो र्यूमर थी कि रेट ₹10, ₹20 इस तरह से बढ़ेंगे, मैं सरकार को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं कि उन्होंने जनता की सुविधा को देखते हुए, उनको राहत के हिसाब से सोचते हुए बहुत ही जेन्युइन उचित रेट बढ़ाए हैं।
जिस तरीके से सरकार ने आह्वान भी किया है कि गाड़ियों का इस्तेमाल कम किया जाए, क्योंकि अगर गाड़ियों का इस्तेमाल कम होगा तो पेट्रोल और डीजल की भी खपत कम होगी, तो इससे क्या पेट्रोल एसोसिएशन पे भी असर आएगा, क्योंकि जो पेट्रोल के जो व्यापार है उन पर भी असर देखने को मिलेगा?
बिल्कुल पड़ता है। ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई भी अगर स्टेप कोई सरकार उठाती है तो उसका असर, चाहे वो व्यापारी हो और चाहे जनमानस हो, सबके ऊपर असर पड़ता है।
तो आप क्या कुछ इस आह्वान के बाद कहेंगे, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से पब्लिक की बात की तो पब्लिक का ये मानना है कि जैसे अभी जो रेट बढ़े हैं उससे अभी और रेट बढ़ने की जो आशंकाएं उन्होंने जाहिर की, उसको लेकर क्या कुछ कहेंगे?
समय समय पर हमेशा रेट बढ़ते घटते रहते हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। जैसी जब कोई स्थिति बनती है, सरकार उसी हिसाब से निर्णय लेती है।
Indian Air Force Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh says modern warfare is rapidly shifting towards drones and unmanned aerial systems, making autonomous and decentralized air power the new battlefield reality. He described UAE systems as an extension of air power with reduced risk to human life during operations. Highlighting the evolving challenge of counter-drone technology, he termed it a cat-and-mouse game where offensive and defensive systems must develop simultaneously. Referring to Operation Sindoor, the air chief said that the operation's success was driven by strong coordination and a centralized command structure. He also stressed the need for seamless coordination among all three armed services while operating in the same airspace.
This topic, the drones and the UAS systems and counter-UAS system, I think everybody has spoken. It is very relevant. It's there today. It is a reality. It is not something for the future. So there is no denying that battlefield has shifted. We are shifting totally from those very concentrated air power to a sort of decentralized and autonomous way. And one thing we must understand, of course, these drones, the counter UAS system or the unmanned aerial system that we are talking about, are an extension of air power. Why are they succeeding is because they have all the intrinsic qualities of air power, and that has to be understood. And of course, there is reduced risk in terms of human lives in operation, and the reduced cost that is making it very attractive. I will just touch upon 2-3 points because I said whatever points I had written down have already been spoken, and I think if I can say, Dixit has spent really good time on the topic and covered it from all perspectives. Not that the others didn't, but I think they left something for Dixit to cover, so he's done it well. I don't think there's anything left for me to add to, but I'll just concentrate on a few things and reiterate some points. First, of course, is that, like I said, it is an extension of air power. So all the rules of air power will apply when you use the UAS systems. Just remember that. And they are no more eye in the sky. They are like claws in the sky now. These, we have seen it in the recent conflicts that have taken place, and we have also realized during Op Sindoor, and this part cannot be forgotten. And second, when we talk about counter UAS, now it is, like I say every time, it is a cat and mouse game. You develop technology in one field, the counter technology has to develop along with that, because that is how the game can be played. Otherwise, one side will have total advantage. So you can't have always force versus force. It has to be force versus defense and other way around. So this part, in Op Sindoor, it was mentioned by Dixit also. I think we've done reasonably well in Op Sindoor. And why that happened? Because there was coordination. Without coordination, without central, agency coordinating it, without having that IACCS system becoming a nerve center, whether it is counter UAS or counter weapon or counter aircraft, it wouldn't have been possible. So we were successful. We were successful that none of their weapon systems landed up on target. None of their UAS systems landed up on target is because we were operating in a manner that was the way to go. And the way we have organized that time, I am very certain that more and more structured, we are making it more structured now, so that there is no individualities coming in. There is no one person trying to go astray and say, nahi, aise nahi karenge. So that part is being controlled. We have structures in place so that every time we are able to counter these in that manner. And they cannot be, in any modern aerial threat, total domain awareness is the key. And that is what he spoke about. We have seen what happens in terms of, if you don't have domain awareness, you don't know where your people are and where others are. We've seen what happened to F-15s in Kuwait, the fratricide part. So we cannot afford to have things like that. We will have all three services operating in the same airspace. There has to be total coordination, and I'm happy to state that there is already existing structures, and we are strengthening those structures even further.
At a media briefing on the West Asia crisis, Sergei Lavrov blamed the United States and Israel for escalating tensions with Iran, calling their actions unprovoked aggression. He said the current tensions around the Strait of Hormuz emerged only after military action against Iran began. Lavrov stated that Iran was not responsible for creating instability in the Persian Gulf and argued that the conflict was being used to justify broader geopolitical objectives linked to oil and regional influence.
Well, there were certain contradictions between these two countries, this is true. And in this regard, we need to understand that such discussions are necessary, both just as well as any other conflicts need to be discussed in regards to the main topic. We need to understand the root causes of every conflict, and we understand what is the root cause here: unprovoked aggression by the US and Israel against Iran. And now everyone calling upon Iran and everyone else with this demand to open up the Strait of Hormuz. I would like to remind you that before February 28th, before the start of this aggression, there was no problem, any problem with the Strait of Hormuz. The navigation was ensured, safe navigation was ensured 100%. So when this aggression against Iran was launched, the goal was clear, it was declared to put an end to the period of history where allegedly Iran instilled fear and terror into its neighboring countries. The same with the kidnapping of President Maduro from Venezuela when he was accused of drug trafficking. And then it turned out that the U.S. was not interested in drug trafficking. They were interested in oil. The same is here. They are interested in oil that is to be shipped via the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran was not the country that blocked the Strait of Hormuz. Iran was not the country that created this problem in relation with other neighboring countries, in relation with the Persian Gulf states. Because, you know, for years we've been promoting the concept of ensuring the security in the Persian Gulf region, and under it, the relations were supposed to be normalized between Iran and Arab monarchies, with the participation of the key neighbors, with the participation of the League of Arab States, with the participation of the 5 permanent members of the Security Council of the UN, because when the Arab countries and Iran were hostile towards each other, it was not normal. It was only damaging the peoples of their countries. So for years we've been holding conferences, and scientists from all these countries attended these conferences. Recently, our Chinese friends also came up with a similar initiative, and Tehran were speaking in favor.
Union Minister Kiren Rijiju has questioned Congress leader Rahul Gandhi over his foreign visit, saying MPs are required to inform the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha Secretariat at least 3 weeks before travelling abroad. Rijiju said, while MPs are free to travel, any foreign hospitality received must be disclosed under FCRA norms to the Home Ministry. Referring to reports of Rahul Gandhi undertaking 54 foreign trips since 2004, the Union Minister said the issue is not just the number of visits but also the duration of stays, sponsors and expenditure incurred. Rijiju urged Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party to follow due procedure and stressed that the law applies equally to everyone, including members of parliament.
लागू होना चाहिए.
The allegation against Rahul Gandhi regarding his foreign visit, how do you react on this?
The matter of Rahul Gandhi's unannounced and announced foreign visits have raised a serious question. Every member of parliament requires to inform the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha Secretariat 3 weeks in advance for their foreign visit. It is not a permission but information. MPs can travel abroad, but the informations have to be given. If the particular MP is to accept the foreign hospitality, the expenditure to be borne by the agencies or the organizations, whoever invites the particular MP will have to come under the FCRA. Section 6 of the FCRA Act 2010 clearly defines how an MP should inform the MHA and also inform MEA for their foreign hospitality which they accept. Other than that, Sri Rahul Gandhi ji has been MP since 2004, and there are reported 54 foreign trips. It is not limited to 54 numbers of trips, but how many days Rahul ji has stayed outside India, and what are the expenditure he has incurred, because MPs have already submitted their income and other details about assets and everything to the Election Commission during election time. Now, if an MP spends much more than whatever is disclosed or undisclosed income, then it comes under very serious scrutiny. It relates to income tax and other relevant laws. My request to Rahul Gandhi ji and Congress party is to please follow the rules, inform the requisite informations to the authorities. For Lok Sabha MP, he has to inform the Lok Sabha Speaker 3 weeks before the proposed foreign visit. And if he has to accept the foreign hospitality, then he has to inform the MHA under FCRA Act 2010. So I very humbly request Rahul ji to specify why he has visited so much it is his freedom to visit. But then you must inform that who are the people who have invited you and what are the expenditure incurred in your name spent by those agencies and organizations outside India. I feel that every Indian has to abide by the laws of the country, especially members of parliament. All the lawmakers, they must be example to the citizens. If the MP is freely traveling without any accountability, it doesn't send a right signal to the people, to the country. So it is a very serious matter. And tomorrow, if anything happens, if some actions are initiated, then government should not be blamed for targeting Rahulji or any particular political person, because after all, law is for everyone. As a Parliamentary Affairs Minister, my job is to request the MPs to follow the guidelines. And also, I have seen many MPs have informed me also. Although permission from the Parliamentary Affairs Ministry is not required, the information is to be given to the Speaker or the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. And for FCRA, they must inform the MHA and also inform the MEA for necessary records. So if anybody has violated these norms, then it can invite serious action from the government.
So do you think there is an unannounced visits also? Do you think it can raise a kind of concern over national security also?
The unannounced visits of Rahul Gandhi, I think, are in multiple numbers. The recent matter which came to the public domain of his sudden visit to Muscat without informing anybody, but somebody captured his surreptitiously moving around and entering an office. Congress party has not given any kind of clarification for that. Whether Rahul Gandhi's visit to Thailand or his visit to Vietnam, all are, I think, as a leader of opposition, he should disclose it. Why he is visiting all these places? There's no restriction for any MP to visit anywhere, but one must inform. When we were in opposition, we have never done that. We used to inform the agencies, the authorities, and the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. So Rahul Gandhi ji is a very responsible person. If he doesn't know the rules, then Congress party should advise him that he holds a very responsible position, and he keeps talking about many things, but he should disclose and talk about his own, all those foreign visits, and his incomes, whether disclosed or undisclosed, are very much there before the Election Commission, which are submitted during the election time as an affidavit. So if you are spending much more than your known source of income, then it is a matter of income tax rules. And if you accept the foreign hospitality without informing the MHA under Section 6 of the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, then there are penalty provisions. So the rule has to be for everyone, and every Indian must abide by the laws of this country.
Uttar Pradesh Minister Yogi Adityanath urged citizens to support the centre amid the impact of the West Asia conflict on fuel and energy supplies. Referring to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's appeal for conservation, he asked people to reduce unnecessary fuel and electricity use, saying India has managed fuel prices better than many countries despite global pressure.
याद रखना, हम सब ने सामूहिक रूप से मिलकर के कोरोना महामारी के दौरान कोरोना जैसी महामारी का मुकाबला किया। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का मार्गदर्शन था, उनका नेतृत्व था, और आज मैं आप सबका आह्वान करने के लिए आया हूं। अभी हाल ही में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने देशवासियों का आह्वान किया है, और वह आह्वान किया है, दुनिया के अंदर युद्ध चल रहे, पश्चिमी एशिया में अमेरिका और ईरान के बीच में युद्ध के कारण तेल की सप्लाई पे असर पड़ा है। डीजल, पेट्रोल, एलपीजी इनकी जितनी सप्लाई होती थी उस पे व्यापक असर पड़ा है। याद करिए, प्रतिदिन भारत सरकार को हजारों करोड़ का नुकसान हो रहा है। ये नुकसान देश का है। देश का मतलब जनता का है। तो जनता की जिम्मेदारी क्या बनती है? हम सरकार के साथ खड़े होकर के देश के साथ संबल बने हर नागरिक की जिम्मेदारी बनती है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो बातें कही है, ईंधन की आपूर्ति के सप्लाई चेन को सुचारू रूप से बनाए रखने के लिए लगातार प्रयास है। दुनिया के अंदर बड़े बड़े देशों में डीजल, पेट्रोल, एलपीजी के दाम कई कई गुना बढ़ गए हैं। भारत ने अब तक नियंत्रित करके रखा, लेकिन हमें विपक्ष के नकारात्मक राजनीति और नकारात्मक नैरेटिव का शिकार नहीं होना है। अगर देश हित में कोई निर्णय लिया जाता है तो हमें प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के साथ खड़ा होना होगा, देश के साथ खड़ा होना होगा। याद रखना, देश से बढ़कर के कोई नहीं, कोई देश से बढ़कर के नहीं हो सकता। जो देश हित में होगा और जो देश का नेतृत्व कहेगा, जो प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी कहेंगे, हम उनके साथ खड़े होंगे। यह एक संगनाद हर भारतीय के मुंह से निकलना चाहिए, हर महाराजगंज वासी और हर उत्तर प्रदेश वासी के मुंह से निकलना चाहिए कि हम उत्तर प्रदेश वासी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के साथ में हैं, क्योंकि उत्तर प्रदेश को उसकी पहचान मोदी जी ने दिलवाई है। हमें भी उनके साथ खड़ा होना है। उन्होंने कहा, जितनी आवश्यक हो उतना ही बिजली की खपत करिए, ज्यादा नहीं। ऐसा नहीं कि दिन में भी आपके घर के बाहर की लाइट जल रही है, अगर आप कमरे में नहीं है, पंखा बंद कर दीजिए। एसी या कूलर है वो चली रहा है तो उसको बंद कर दीजिए, बल्ब है उसको बंद कर दीजिए। जब आप रहें जरूरत के हिसाब से चलाइए, ज्यादा मत चलाइए। अगर एक गांव के बच्चे स्कूल जा रहे हैं, स्कूल बस है, तो अपनी कार से अपनी बाइक से क्यों आप जा रहे हैं? फिर उस स्कूली बस से बच्चे को भेज दीजिए। सभी लोग जहां भी हो सकता है, याद रखना, बूंद बूंद से घड़ा भरता है। एक एक के प्रयास से ये चीजें आगे बढ़ेंगी। एक एक के द्वारा किए जाने वाले प्रयास का परिणाम होगा कि कोरोना जैसी महामारी का मुकाबला भारत ने दुनिया के अंदर सबसे अच्छा किया। तो वर्तमान में पश्चिमी एशिया के संकट के कारण ईंधन आपूर्ति, उर्वरक की आपूर्ति, अन्य कुछ सामग्रियों की आपूर्ति में जो बाधा खड़ी हुई है, उस बाधा का मुकाबला भी हम सामूहिक रूप से मिलकर के करेंगे और देश प्रथम के भाव के साथ, नेशन फर्स्ट के इस भाव के साथ हम सबको मिलकर के कार्य करना होगा।
Air Marshal Ashutosh Dixit emphasized the need for stronger tri-service integration and unmanned aerial systems, unmanned vehicles and counter-UAS operations, stating that such coordination is a strategic necessity for safeguarding the nation. Speaking at the Center for Aerospace Power and Strategic Studies, the Air Marshal said operational freedom for the Army, Navy and Air Force can only be ensured through joint preparedness and cooperation among the three services.
Let me begin with a very simple but powerful truth that forging tri-service synergy and integration in US, UAV and counter-UAS is not merely desirable, it is a strategic imperative for us and for the operational freedom of our three services to protect this nation. No single service can fight the next war alone. Only collective leadership, integrated systems and shared situational awareness can deliver decisive victory in the battles ahead. We stand at a decisive moment in history, in human history also and in military history. Unmanned aerial systems are no longer just enablers. They are a means of warfare in their own right, already replacing manned aircraft in an increasing variety of roles and already influencing the outcomes of real conflict right now as we speak. We recently marked the first anniversary of Operation Sindoor, which was India's swift, high-intensity, multi-domain military response conducted under the nuclear umbrella, in which speed, strength and precision shaped a decisive and favorable outcome. In that operation, drones became a weapon of choice for the first time in this Indo-Pak conflict. This has changed the nature of border warfare. The world took note, our adversaries also took note, and so must we also take note, and that is why I think this seminar is very timely. I will speak today on 6 interlinked themes: the changing character of warfare, mass precision, US as force multipliers, man-unmanned teaming, our counter-US response, and what both industry and the defense forces must do urgently. I will close with a look at the larger horizon, because drones are only the opening act of coming robotic war.
That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.